of karmic rewards. How do you know when it's working? All the seeds you're planting. So here's some ways to recognize that. I think this is really easy. The way you know that your practice is doing well is you get happier. But I have never, this is a little new for me, surprise, all of a sudden you see good outcomes.
Surprise?
Yeah, they're saying surprise, all of a sudden you start to see good outcomes. Like, I guess your relationship in the world is happier. Like, it becomes obvious, you can't get away from the fact that everyone's really kind walking down the streets, and usually when you talk to anyone, suddenly everyone's smiling at you or saying hi, good morning. Or everyone's really super nice to you at work, or they used to not like even register.
I mean, some days are like that, right?
Amazing. You know, if you're practicing nonviolence really well, you start to not see violence in your world. You don't hear about it, you don't hear it on the news, or you're not watching the news, so you're not, some people hear about it all the day, they keep infiltrating themselves with that. Oh, so amazing, in your world, all violence will cease, which is in the Yoga Sutras. Hopefully we're gonna get back to that. Miraculous unicorns and sky flowers. Karma for seeing a miracle is very similar. This is cool. Karma for seeing a miracle is very similar to the karma of having a miracle happen to you. Karma of having faith in one's guru comes back as a miracle for you. And it's amazing to start to see stuff like that. And you know, you're not even like this because you're kind of steeped in this kind of discussion world and practices, that you start to see stuff like, oh my gosh, here's stuff that people are experiencing, means you're getting closer. So we're going to talk about some superpowers that they mentioned in the Yoga Sutras. And I'm like, oh my gosh, flying, walking through things, invisibility. I talk about all this stuff that sounds like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. But I talk about how to reach those things, develop those powers. Not that it's recommended that you do, but as your karma improves and your practices, suddenly those things are happening spontaneously for you. The difference is if you want to learn that to satisfy your own ability to like get good at becoming invisible, versus something like that happening to you, but because it was motivated by you wanting to help people and being able to be there or hear something or do it, you can start to do good with those superpowers. Is a difference. Verse 2, so far now. Chapter 2, verses 46 to 48. And we're gonna get this done, aren't we? I can save some for tomorrow. A little bit more. Somebody? So, chapter 2, verses 46 to 48.
Awesome. The poses bring a feeling of well-being, which stays with you.
The poses bring about well-being, which stays with you. So these are the only verses where they mention asana and the whole Yoga Sutras. I never talk about Warrior 1 or Warrior 2 or Surya Namaskar. I talk about the right and left channel, but they don't talk about so we talked about this, the original purposes of asana. There are two. Can somebody tell me about them?
For a healthy body, and the ability to sit in meditation.
Yeah. So healthy body here, I'm going to escalate it. The original purposes of asana, to sit in a long time in meditation and to place the body in positions that would open up the inner channels. So I just jumped that a little bit, the original purposes, right? To unravel the right and the left and the knots. And that's the original purpose, but then there's purposes of well-being, health, as a result of yoga. So you can talk about physical health, and mental health, because it feels good after you kind of take care of yourself. So your physical well-being, mental peace, because of the opening of the channels, you feel good when you leave. And then there's the level of ultimately withdrawing all the channels, especially the right and left, into the central channel. I don't know, does someone want to read 47 and 48? Somebody different?
Prayana, Shaitya, Ananta, Samapati, They do so through a balance of effort and relaxation and through endless forms of balanced meditation.
This beginning to make sense? So balance meditation. And then what were the other in that verse?
Balance, effort, and relaxation.
Oh, effort, so effort and relaxation. So stira and sukha, ease, strength, covering. Stira and sukha, is that what they're saying in that one? Or that was
It's the one before, but the good translation is in the next one.
Yeah. I'll just take it. And then 48. Verse 48.
And there will come a time when difference is no longer harassing.
And that's the part, the wind's going into the central channel, you're not having this. Could be good, could be bad, you're always good. Either content, happy, joyful, or ecstatic. There are different levels of that where they don't bother you, different levels of being. Things are still happening, but you're not reacting or responding to the happiness. You've got it stabilized inside of you. You're not fluctuating with it. Verse 49. Somebody different?
The breath is controlled when, as you remain there, the passage of your breath in and out simply stops.
Anyone remember the Sanskrit for this word? Breath stopping?
Neuro
Kumbhaka.
Neuro cessation, yeah.
Kumbhaka?
Kumbhaka, yeah. Cessation of the breath. So we're just showing where these things are showing up. This is about the pranayama practice, before about the asanas, how asanas work from being to sit, and then we enter work with the channels, how that make you feel good, and then when the channels dissolve into the central channel, how you don't have, anyway, it happens before that. It happens before that.
What is the breath in and out simply stops me? Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't need to breathe anymore. So initially it happens.
Miracle.
You don't. I know it sounds like a miracle, and it's crazy. It's another phenomenon to prove, like, oh my gosh, I'm not just my mind, there's so much more. You need to breathe. You need to breathe because you need to feel this body, and actually this body is kind of a mistaken form of perfection. It's created by mistakes. The fact that it's choking it is the reason that you have like a right and a left channel to begin with. I don't know, maybe if we did it, you could look like anything, but maybe you wouldn't even need a nose. You wouldn't be breathing. You probably wouldn't have 2 arms, but you could have thousands. You're not limited to one body, you have emanation bodies. Supposedly they're able to do all these kinds of things. I know it sounds amazing. Anyway, but this kumbhaka is how the breath stops.
Is that like the retention?
Well, we begin to do so this will be maybe towards the ultimate evolution of pranayama practice.
But in that, Elena, someone asked to do that practice, the retention, and she said she didn't want to do it like that. Right? She felt that, that we all have too much in the city, it's too harsh, and there's a time for it.
Yeah, I think, generally, personally, I wouldn't teach pranayama till I knew someone was practicing in a couple of years, because it's such a subtle body practice. You're almost working with atomic energy. But then I started to teach lighter forms more. I don't know why, I just felt people were ready, or I'll look at who's in the class if it's very beginner, like first timers or really new. I'll just do deep breathing, like teaching them how to reflex breathe in, how to fill the lungs completely, how to exhale things out completely. That's a pranayama practice, and it's so powerful. Like usually we talked about this. We breathe too short and the breath goes only to the areas that need it, and you don't flush out the whole body. You don't empty out the stagnant air, you don't get the nutrients everywhere, like constantly, like oversaturate your body more than it needs. You have a healthy lung, it takes some effort, and everything's working to pump in, to pull in, to pull out, pull in, pull out. The stronger that is, the more clean this body runs, the less stagnant you are. It takes energy. There's so many things when you breathe in. The neck muscles engage, the intercostals engage, the back, the waist. Like, when people who breathe shallow because they don't know to breathe deep and they're used to handling a lot of stress, the shallower they breathe, they start to. They do, they come on the table all the time. You know, they don't exercise, they don't open up. They get very fixed in their position, they're uncomfortable with change. They get fixed in their ideas, they feel threatened very easy. Because the body's shaping around the breath and the pranayama and the prana and the thoughts. So by breathing deep, we start to bring change into the body. Every moment is different with the breath. We start to shake off the stagnancy in the body and refresh it, give it an opportunity to inhale what it needs and let go of everything it doesn't need fully. So nothing gets stagnant either way. Not stagnant on the thoughts that you're pulling into yourself, and not stagnant on everything that you're letting out or not letting out. It doesn't get stuck. Because the channels, they're not fixed. It can be light, it can emanate at its finest. Thousands of bodies or things at the same time. Like, how is that possible? We're not used to thinking about that, but for someone who's achieved those levels, it's like, oh yeah, you can do that. So pranayama is amazing. The older the evolution of pranayama is when you don't need to breathe anymore. How the breath stops. One-pointedness of attention is a reflected stillness of breath. When you get one-pointed on something, this happens. One-pointed on something long enough, you penetrate the object itself. Your senses are so withdrawn, the pratyahara, that you're not dealing with these gross senses. You're turned inner. You're not even aware of any of this anymore. You're deep in. You kind of go beyond. Gate, paragate, parasangate, the Heart Sutra, Gangam, beyond. You penetrated reality itself as you know it. You've gone to a higher reality. You don't need to breathe. You have this experience of not breathing. You're still aware. It shouldn't be possible. And then you come back, and that karma ends, and you come back. And it might happen spontaneously, you don't have to work at it. The retentions help us develop that towards that, but the retentions are also having us learn, because we're working with the breath to affect the prana and what's attached to the prana. Thoughts and prana run in tandem. You can't separate them. So either you can work with the thoughts and start to think about goodness all the time, serving others, doing goodness, affects your prana. So if you have those thoughts of love for all beings and yourself, already that's getting the prana more likely to be running in your central channel. Or you can begin to work the breath, because the thoughts are so rampant. Let me just work with the prana. I can think about them running this way in perfect channels. And if I can hold them in the central channel, mentally you're thinking, I'm going to hold them in the central channel. And because your thoughts are doing that, your prana has to go where your thoughts are, in the central channel. So pranayama practice develops start to control that prana. So it's not just doing whatever. It's subtle. So I'm sure you've sat and you start to feel what it's like to breathe in the right and exhale the left, and how subtle you start to actually feel or get a sense of it happening, like it improves, right? And then you start to get a sense of it moving, that it's different than the breath. Possibly, I don't know if you have, I'm assuming it looks like that from meditations I've done with you, and they all seem really in. So I'm assuming that's the case, that's happening for you. That you can feel the difference between the breath and the mind moving and the prana that's from the mind. It's so subtle, but it's not your breath. It's not your breath going through the channel. The breath is actually going to the lungs and the different things that we use, but the prana is on a more subtle level. Right, so you start to tap in. And the more you do pranayama practice, the more you start to become sensitive to, oh, I don't have to do this. It's like a quiet, slow, controlled, streamlined, subtle, hardly any movement, so quiet, like deep within. So one-pointedness is reflected in stillness. So as you're developing your one-pointed meditation practice, holding your mind on a specific object, your breath will still, it'll affect your prana. And it's a practice. And there's different retentions, and you generally wouldn't teach somebody who didn't know what their practice was. So for beginners, I would do reflex breathing. I might breathe in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 5, 4, like that. Just teach them how to rhythmically breathe. Then I might, no alternate nostril, just breathe in 5, hold 5, exhale 5. No stress, they never have a time to freak out. The freak out is not good for your pranayama system. Everything should be easy, gentle, slow. It's not how much you can inhale or exhale or how long, but how well you can do that over time. Like, can I keep that? Maybe I can inhale and hold for 10, but after like 5 minutes, I'm exhausted and that freaks me out and I gasp for air. So over pranayama practice, it's something that you start to do slowly, simple, no stress, no holding, no crazy effort, just slowly, deliberately, clearly, gently. There's ratios. We do usually 1, 1, 1 when we breathe in for 5, hold 5, exhale 5. I might do with beginners, not very, very beginner, I do reflex breathing or that 5 through those nostrils. Then I might do inhale right, exhale left, no retention. Inhale right, exhale left, exhale right, get them used to that. Balancing and breathing. Then maybe I'll do something simple, like breathe in for 1, hold your breath for 2 counts, exhale 1. So there's different ratios. We're going to give you a book that has some nice ratios of how you might want to practice on your own and how you would be able to escalate it and what ratios to work with once you feel comfortable. No rush. Don't rush. Don't be in a rush to achieve some longer ratio. It's not, but you'll do more damage. And that damage is sometimes not unlikely irrevocable because it's so subtle. It's like so subtle energy. It's not something you want to play with to master. It's something you just do gently, nicely, no achievement, just presence. Really important about teaching pranayama and practicing it. You disturb your inner winds, and they're so subtle, they're hard to correct, and it can affect your lifetime if the shakes or weird stuff. So if she didn't want to teach it, it's probably why. It's not just something you throw out easily. And do it after I worked with people a long time, taught them to ujjayi breath properly through a whole vinyasa, where I knew that they were breathing in equally and exhaling equally. That's a great one to help regulate, neutralize the mind and the thoughts that way. Do you seem kind of comfortable enough to do that, like to when to do that with students, or when not to, or how you might get a sense of how to start or not start? And if you don't, if you have a question, then you don't. You keep studying and practicing and learning until you get to a point where you are comfortable with it. You don't have to do it. Just teaching someone to breathe fully. It's plenty of pranayama. Practice in an asana class. And in doubt, I'm like, go less, do less. When you understand it more, you know you understand it more because you understand it more. But you don't have to put it on or expect or think that makes me something better or a teacher. It's not. Small yoga is happening on a lot of levels when you're a teacher. Something about the asana practice. So much is that it can be effective. What you're giving, how you're loving them, how you're receiving, how you're helping them, what your intention is, how much fun you're having, that they're having. Because that means it's flowing well. There's this thing like no fun, no yoga. Like it's joy, it's love. When things are good and vibrant and this, it's fun. It doesn't even feel like work. You can do it all day. That's good yoga. It's not like, I'm gonna do this hard stuff and not love it. You know, better do much easier or hard stuff, but you love it and everyone's laughing and they feel good and that wins everybody. You teach them something simple about caring for somebody. That's good yoga. Also, it's just a little thing. Don't get trapped by it. Have fun. It's fun to challenge. It's fun to see yourself get better, and it's fun. But don't forget it's fun for these other reasons. Don't let that block out what we're actually doing. Yeah, do great. If you have people laugh and bond and share or sing or say a chant together or home or something, the way it vibrates and the intention of the things, that's powerful. Now you really know somebody. So don't be fooled by it. Do that for your team. And don't let them, if you can help, don't let them fall for that either. You'll be on your mat and like, oh my God, they're so good. Everybody does this. They're so good. I'm not good at this. I'm so terrible at this. And that's not yoga. They missed it entirely. Everyone's having their own experience. They might be going so deep and having the worst thoughts like, oh, I'm going to be better than everybody else. And that's horrible to be setting through your body. They're going to get hurt from something like that. For somebody who's trying, it doesn't look like they have all this love opening up in their body. Like you can't measure it always the way that it appears. Where are we in the time? We have to take a break. I'm going to finish the rest of this tomorrow. I get all day and I have something more. Isn't it fun? Yeah. Are you liking it? I love that we're having this time. I'm so glad. So I'm going to put this away because we covered a lot. We'll save some for tomorrow. We'll finish that tomorrow. The review and maybe get back into reading all of them. But does anyone finish the third chapter and fourth chapter reading it in Geshe-la's book? Anybody have anything to do that? Awesome. The rest of us can catch up. We have 2 weeks. Just read it through once, easy, see what lands, what doesn't, but at least finish, have a finishing karma. We're going to try and do the whole long and recite it at least, but I'm covering all the important stuff with this review that you should know about them. So we'll take 15, then we'll come back and we'll do class sequencing. Get you ready for your, I don't know.